Welcome to this short tutorial on how to use PicStitch and Halftone to create the comic for your project. The first thing you're going to want to do, even before you take any pictures, is to create a storyboard. And this storyboard is just going to be a layout of all of the photos that you need and literally the story that you're trying to tell. This is going to really help you when you go to decide on layouts and when you go to take the pictures. The next step would be to open PicStitch, and you'll see PicStitch here in the center of the screen. And you want to take a look at the available layouts. There's a lot of them to choose from. If you see these with the lock on it, that means that those are from the paid version. But the reason that you want to take a look at this and sort of decide on how you want your layout to be is because for something like this one here in the middle, you'll notice that I have two square pictures and a landscape picture. If I try to put a landscape picture in the square picture hole, I can do that, but it's not going to show me the entire picture. So you sort of want to know what you're going to need prior to taking your pictures. And then you're going to go out and take your pictures. So once you have all of your pictures, we're going to start in PicStitch. And we have selected the appropriate layout. Now, to add images, from the left-hand side, I want to first tap in the box. So you'll see I've tapped in the box here on the upper left-hand corner, and it's now surrounded by blue. And then I'll come over here to this side, and I'll just select the image that I would like to put in there. In this case, I'll put him. And so that's just how you proceed. Again, I'll tap the next one so it's selected, and I'll add this image. Now, you'll notice that this image is sort of off. All I have to do is put my finger in and I can drag it around. I can also use the pinch and drag method to zoom in or zoom out. And all I'm doing is just taking my index finger and my thumb and pinching them together to zoom out and then pulling them apart on the screen to zoom in. And now as I scroll down a little more, I'll put a landscape picture in this slot here. And now we've got that in there. All right, so that's how you add images. So that's the first thing you're going to do. And again, we are in PicStitch. Now, if you want to take a picture yourself or you don't have what you want in this area, you can tap on this plus sign here at the top, and that will allow you to import images, to take a picture right directly into PicStitch, or to pull something from your Dropbox.com account. Once you have your images in, you're pretty much finished. Most of the rest of the things at the bottom do require you to have the professional account. So now what I need to do is I need to export this into my camera roll so that I can open it up in Halftone and comictize it, I guess, for lack of a better word. So I'm just going to choose export, and from here you want to choose photo album. This is going to take this image and export it to the camera roll of this iPad. Now here's another thing that's important. PicStitch and Halftone, which we'll use in a minute, do not save your images so that you can just bring them back up again later on. These images, if I were to add a new layout now with new images, it would erase what I have here. So be sure when you're finished making each of these pages that you export it. All right, so I've exported this, and now you just continue on the way you would. So I choose layout again. I select a different layout this time. Would I like to start over? The answer is yes, and go on the way I did by just adding new images here. All right, so once you have these and you have them exported, now we're going to go into Halftone. So I'm going to press the home button in order to get back to my main screen, and this time I'm going to choose the Halftone icon. So the first thing it asks me is to find or take a photo. So I'm going to tap on that, and then tap on the camera in the bottom left-hand corner, and I'm going to say choose photo. This is going to allow me to go into my camera roll and select the image that I just created. You're given an opportunity to do some minor editing, but I'm not going to do anything with that because my pictures are already fine. So I'm just going to choose done in the upper right-hand corner. And so what it's kind of done is made it look a little comic book-like. So if we look at these icons from left to right, the second one allows me to change the type of paper that's on the background. So now you can see it has this little blue one. The third icon over allows me to change these captions. So in this case, you'll notice that I have a caption at the bottom here that says created by Halftone for iPad. I can have one at the top and bottom. Or if I don't want to have any at all, I can just choose this one here and not have any at all. If I did select one, then in order to change it, I just tap on it and then I can change it to whatever I want it to say. And change the color of it if I want, and then choose done. And then you'll see now it's changed the color and the title. Right, the fourth one over is your text bubbles. So I just tap it and this bubble shows up in the center that says hi. If I put my finger on it and just drag it to a new location, so I'm just pressing, holding, and dragging, that yellow button, if I grab it, it allows me to move the voice part. If I want to edit the text bubble, I just tap it so I can add the text. You'll also notice here up underneath the text box that I can change the type of bubble it is. So it can be a thought bubble, it can be an exclamation, it can be all kinds of different things. So I'm going to choose that and then say done. And now I can move it around. So you put it wherever you want it, and that's how you can do your bubbles. If you need to edit them, you just tap it again and it takes you back into this interface. The second to last icon here puts these kind of, they're called stickers. So it just puts it right in the center. If I tap on it, then it brings up all of the options that I have available to me that are free. So I'll put to be continued and I'll make it, change the color. All right. And then again, using my finger, I'm just going to press and hold and I can drag it around the screen. I can make it bigger and smaller by using my pinch and drag, and I can also use 2 fingers at one time to rotate it around. So that's the sticker. And then the last one, the letter A, just allows me to select a different font and a different font size. This will change the font and the font size for all of the text on that page though, so just be aware of that. So now when I'm finished with this, just like with PicStitch, I have to export this. So this is my final page, and I'm going to hit the Send To icon in the upper right-hand corner, and I'm going to send it wherever I want. I can send it to my personal Dropbox account, or I can send it back to the camera roll. I'm going to push the Save Image button, and that's going to send it back into my camera roll. And now when I want to do my next one, I just hit this camera and say choose photo, and I get to start all over again. So that's sort of the basics of using PicStitch and Halftone to create your comic.